So there is news today. This was from USA Today that the MLB, that there are team owners and the players union, they're discussing a possible delay to the 2021 season. The basis of this is basically saying, hey, let's delay the season until May so we can make sure that all of our players and everyone in our league gets the COVID vaccine, and we all get that before we start playing again, before we start going out, because of the hassle of what it could be is like teams traveling around. It's like, okay, we got to get everyone the vaccine. But then number two, it's like you're traveling around, possibly spreading it like we saw last year. Let's just wait, get the vaccine. I know the vaccine isn't like a big old Band-Aid that's like, okay, COVID's gone forever, but it helps. Jake, I'll go to you first. Should this be a no-brainer that the MLB goes, yeah, we'll just do what we did last year again this year?
Yep, it should be a no-brainer, but with the way they with the way they pushed the playoffs and there was no off days during the first two series, there was the normal 2 or 3 days off during the World Series. Yeah. Manfred seemed like he was pushing to get the next season to start at the right time. Now, now there's a vaccine, maybe that'll change everything. The vaccine, I think, is read as 60 to 70% effective, which is around the same as the flu shot. It's higher.
I've been hearing like 70.
It's much higher than that, I believe. I let me pull up the exact stat while you keep.
Okay. So even if it still stands point, even if it's higher, you need every player to get that because somebody probably still will catch the virus. It's not like nobody's going to catch it, but it'll limit the widespreads that you had multiple times last year, especially with the Cardinals who missed multiple weeks of a season. It's just a smart thing to do. And also the big problem is MLB free agency is moving so slow because the owners do not want to spend money after their precious little profits were taken down last year and they lost some money and now they're all crying poor. Like we're supposed to feel bad for billionaires. It's
in a league that they already don't have a salary cap.
Yep.
Moderna, 94.5% effective was the last stat that came out about them. Pfizer, somewhere around the 96% effective rate. So we're talking much more effective. Yes.
Okay. So even if it was 60 to 70% effective, I was feeling safe. If it's not, if it's truly 96% effective, then yes, you delay the season a month, 2 months, and you start in May. May is a fine. You start on May 1st. You start just a little bit a month after you normally would start, and you have minimized risk of any widespread infection of a team, and hopefully you won't have any delays during the season. So I think it's obviously the smart thing to do, but the MLB isn't smart, so we'll see if they actually do it.
Yeah, I mean, the other reason why I like them delaying the season is because of like what I've heard about the vaccine that makes sense. Like me being a non-science guy goes, that makes sense. When they say the vaccine is not something that's like, all right, I have it, COVID can't get me anymore. It's like, no, the antibodies get into your system. Your immune system takes that and builds up a defense against it. Like it takes time for that to happen to where it's like, while that's happening with the vaccine, why not just do what you did last? Like, was last season that bad? To where it's like, I know they lost money, which is bad, but like for a fan perspective, I was like, I kind of enjoyed last season.
Yeah, I want to bring it back a little bit because the Phillies owner was trying to say that they lost hundreds and they lost billions of dollars, which clearly was not true. It is just not true. And actually, Scott Boras came out and said, which obviously Scott Boras is an agent and he's going to try to spin the narrative that MLB teams didn't lose money last year, which for some MLB teams, I guarantee you that's true. The Pirates had a payroll of $30 million last year. They did not lose money. I can't guarantee you teams like the Dodgers and the Yankees probably lost money.
How much money would teams realistically have lost with to me, the only thing I can think of is the ticket sales.
Which is
obviously wasn't people going to games.
And games, yes. They lost TV money.
Just network TV, yep.
It is estimated that each big market team probably lost a couple $100 million, which is probably around what is true. The small market teams, it differentiates comparing to their, like the Rays made the World Series and had a payroll of like $29 million. Guarantee you they did not lose money. So I still feel, I don't feel sympathy for the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Cubs, all the teams that paid a lot of money because they're in the biggest markets in the country and their owners have endless pockets. And I don't see, what's bad about what's going on right now is the relationship between the players and the owners is souring even more because how slow free agency is moving. And the MLBPA has told their players, don't accept any deals unless it's the exact deal that you want at the moment. Because and this is going to drag out because they're in a contract.
When does their CBA left?
That's a good
Are
question.
we official? When do winter meetings officially happen this year?
They are
happened, I
happening
think.
now.
I thought okay. Not there.
It's either now or within the next week or so. It's just they're happening digitally this year, so it's
Yeah, I knew it was coming up soon. I'm like, that usually seems to be the hotbed for all activity in the MLB.
Well, Garrett Cole signed a year ago on the 10th, so 5 days ago. So that's when the winter meetings were last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're probably a little bit pushed back this year because.
Yeah, the whole season was. As far as everything goes with you guys, I'm with you. I think the season should wait until the vaccine hits. And again, you are correct in the fact that there's the first shot and then there's a second shot that happens about 30 days later. And that will give you a decent level of immunity to the 94 96 percentiles that we were talking. So as far as playing games, there's no rush. Yes, you will lose on some TV money. But at the end of the day, the hassle of entire teams, 10 people being down with COVID or because of contact tracing, losing out on multiple players and having to bring up, AAA players to cover slots, it's just not worth the headache. It's not worth all of that. They should absolutely push the season 1 month forward. Let's see where we're at. And again, this is assuming we're in America. We have a decent rollout plan. That is an asterisk. We will wait and see what happens come February when things continue to roll out to the greater public. Right now, it's just initial shots for, obviously, those who are in desperate need and first responders. So I think a lot of this comes with asterisks. I don't think we will have an exact start date, or we'll have a tentative start date at worst case of like, hey, our season normally starts here. Let's plan around that. But if it gets pushed back, we won't be surprised.
Jake, I'm going to ask you this question.
Oh yeah.
CBA is up after this season. Do we have a strike after the 2020?
Yes,
season?
it won't even be close. Yes, it won't even be close.
Even I knew that one.
Yeah.
And the problem,
May 28th, 2020, it was written by CBS. That's because the current collective bargaining agreement is set to expire after the 2021 season.
Yeah.
The CBA is the negotiated agreement that governs almost every aspect of working relationship between the management clubs and the players.
Can we talk about how now we're going back to pitchers hitting? Nobody wants to see pitchers hit in the NL. You don't want automatic outs. And you know why it's not going to come back? Because the owners don't want to give that to the players. They want to get something in return in the CBA agreement next year. That is how dumb it has become. I know. No, I
all money, Jake.
It is. They don't want to pay. Well, they also have to pay another additional hitter when they have a DH. So they don't want to do that until they can get something in return for it. It is so dumb how the sport has become so politicized like that. And
and yet again, would I be crying if the DH was universal? No, but I am on the side of I've always liked the.
You like automatic outs?
Well,
you like guys hitting .9.
It's not the automatic outs. It's just, for me, I've always felt like the AL and NL have been different in that sense, to where it's like it's almost it adds that certain aspect of it to where it's like, to me, it's like what the Jake Arrietas, the Madison Bumgarners, like these pitchers
of every 100 at-bats.
I know, but like there's also a part of me that goes, then pitchers should get better at hitting too. Like if you want to be a pitcher, you have to learn how to hit too. It's fucking baseball. Like that's the thing I always hated. It's like you're not going to be the best hitter out there, but it's like if you're going to play baseball, play baseball. Don't be like, oh, well, this guy only hits, can't play the field. Like
specialists are what makes the game great. You get somebody who swings the bat fucking sweet. That is the answer. You have to pay the man, and that is the problem. Like the NL has to pony up the money. I'm going to check. I don't know what the concession will be on the players' end.
Yeah, they want the DH. I know they want the DH.
A capped percentage for guaranteed money is my expectation. Like MLB players and guaranteed money is always a finicky deal. Yep. I think that will be the target. I don't know what they'll actually concede to though, because I think it's very tough to give up. So
to me, maybe it's because I am an NL guy and my favorite team's in the NL. I've always liked Jake calls it an automatic out, which isn't wrong.
Yeah.
But
so then why have it in the game?
Because to me, there's I even look at the times where it's like there's a strategy as a manager of like
there is no strategy.
No, there is, to where it's like you see teams to where it's like, all right, instead of taking this guy, we're gonna walk this guy, put him on, which the intentional walk, don't get me started on that. because why the fuck would I put a guy on base for free? With all the analytics that we see,
because you have a guy up, a position up next that hits under 100. So that's why I'm gonna.
You don't take any you don't take any chances by putting people on base.
It's free money, Ricky.
Yeah, and then the guy accidentally leans into one. It's like shit. He got a hit, and now we're fucked.
The problem is, what happens if your pitcher gets hit by a pitch?
Yeah, but that can happen to anybody though. Like that's not something that's almost like what if he gets hurt? It's like, well, anyone can get hurt.
A pitcher is a pitcher and a hitter is a hitter. There are two different sides of the game.
There was always like watching as a kid. There was always that strategy of like, well, okay, we've got 2 outs. Do we get the out here? Pitcher's up next inning, or it's even like you put the other team in a situation of like, fuck it, we're gonna walk this guy. Put your pitcher up now. What are you going to do? You're going to pinch hit for him now and take him out of force him to take that pitcher out of the game?
That is the other dumb part. You should not have to force. It is the dumbest thing. Like, my pitcher is going 5 innings, 2 hits, 7 strikeouts, and I have to take him out.
But if it's an automatic out, then it's like, oh shit, like, do I have to take him out now because I want to get a hit and get some runs here and make him pay for putting that guy on base and use my bullpen? Like, in a playoff situation, that's the dumb shit that gets me to where it's like, you got to manage your team well.
Strategy right there.
The better part of managing your team well.
Otherwise, it's just like, all right, guys, go out there and fucking play. I don't have to do anything out here. Like, I'm just going to use you for 5 innings, use you for 2 innings, use you for. No, it's just so cookie cutter then.
No, that's blatantly not true. The only wrong thing that's gotten rid of strategy in the MLB is the fact that a pitcher has to face 3 batters now. That is stupid. That takes away specialists in the MLB. That means I can't bring in my guy who's great at getting lefties out and then take him out. That's strategy. Strategy is not, well, the next guy hits under 100. Let's just face him. That is not strategy.
I thought it was they had to face a minimum of 1.
No, it's 3. Unless it's the end of an inning, they have to face 3 hitters. So if you bring a guy in.
The only thing I hated is like, we're going to bring this guy in for a pitch and then switch to another guy like 1 pitch later. We had that like a couple times.
I think that's strategy. You just said it's cookie cutter. It's not. That's strategy. That is strategy. Bring in a guy who's good at getting lefties out.
Yeah, like I'm okay with him coming in and like 1 batter. You have to face 1 batter.
You cannot take a pitcher out unless he faces a batter. You cannot bring a pitcher in and then after 1 pitch bring him out. That was never.
I was gonna say that
was never a rule.
Unless he gets injured, like of course you can't put him out. No, I'm all about baseball and the move to analytics, and I think the more competitive games happen when you have a DH in there. You have someone his job is to hit the fuck out of that baseball. So yes, I want this to happen. I think it needs to happen in baseball. I think it makes a better product, not only for the fans, but for the players. And it gets more guys a job. As guys age out of their positional spots, like you can be a first baseman DH. Great, you don't have a glove. You can just be a DH and rotate around the league. Like, keep some names around. I think it's just, for me, it's a win-win. Pitchers don't want to fucking bat. 99 out of 100 pitchers don't want to go up there and stand at the plate. That's not their job. That's not what they've been training for their whole life. It's like changing the rules on guys. You see guys in the NFL.
Again, I'm on the side of you're playing baseball. Like,
too fucking bad. Baseball is about one thing for you. Your job is to throw that ball as hard as you goddamn can.
I mean, but at the same time in the NBA, we got guys that are like, I'm not going to play defense. Fuck that shit. I'm just going to focus on my offense.
Yeah, Zion Williamson. Yeah.
Zion can play defense. You were right with Trae Young.
Prove me wrong.
You were right on Trae Young.
Don't make me fight you.
Zion can play defense. He gets all those blocks, Dave.
Baseball is an analytic-driven sport, and the best product for the game is with DHs and is with the ability to have those matchup-based things with pitchers swapping in and out of there and a 1-batter status. I'm with you, Jake. I think a little bit of Ricky, a little bit of Jake. You guys are both on the right track, but together we get the best product. I
don't like. I've always been on the side of no universal DH. I've always liked the uniqueness of the NLAL.
Just waste time and waste it back.
You know what? We might as well have a kicker play quarterback. Actually, have the quarterbacks punt. That's basically what it is.
Quarterbacks punt. Yep. Why aren't you doing it all?
Quarterbacks have punted. Didn't you see Flutie? Flutie got those points because he kicked it.
No. If we're playing in the NL, all quarterbacks should punt.
Yep. Only and kick field goals. They have to kick 55-yarders and be able to throw the ball.
I think the AF. I think
it's a little different, but okay.
The AFC should have. AFC, the AFC should have their quarterbacks, punt at that point. Like, why have punters? You don't need a designated guy.
If you're going to be a football player,
you're trying to go extraordinary to throw fun at it. But yeah, it's yet again, like, would I be mad if they got a universal DH? No. But it's just, I've always been against the universal. I've always liked hey, this team is going into an NL stadium. They've got to go into, it makes the AL Central too.
Wait, hold on. I loved as a Yankee fan having the 300-pounder CC Sabathia stand up there and hit a baseball. Because guess what? He didn't hit the baseball because he couldn't hit. All right, I don't like seeing that. I don't like seeing my 300-pound pitcher who was dominant on the other.
I'm used to the NL, so for me it was just another baseball game for me, Jake.
And you know what's crazy is that changes should be accepted. And if you watched multiple years of full AL, NL baseball with DHs, you'd be like, "Holy crap!"
Do we still keep the rule though of because there's the rule people forget about that if you like fuck with the DH spot, that it's like if you make a change to it during the game, then you no longer have a DH and your pitcher bats?
No, I just think
like if you do like something to where it's like, okay, I need to move the DH to play the field and or move the DH spot somewhere in the lineup, to where it's like, okay, that happens, but then that DH spot becomes your pitcher spot.
That could be a compromise. I mean, that could be a compromise of you, but I don't think.
Because then it's like, oh shit, do I make this change? Do I pinch hit?
I don't think those changes happen as often as you would think if there's just a DH in the lineup every day.
Yeah, yet again, I'm fine with having both leagues be unique to themselves.
No. It's one league, Ricky. It's the MLB. It's a major
technically, it's
baseball.
the American League and the National League, Dave.
Well, let's stop dividing each other and come together. Let's all be the same and love each other.
Being special doesn't make you better. Let me just end on that note.
I'm not saying anything is better than the other.
Being special and having pitching or pitchers have to hit the ball does not make them a more interesting league to watch.
Some would say it's the most purest form of baseball because everyone who's on the field both bats and plays the field.
You know what's great about that? The people who say that are all dying off, and we don't have to listen to their shit anymore.
So what? I'm going to die, Dave?
There's a reason why baseball fan average is such a high age.
Mm-hmm.
It's because people are so far up their own ass about this kick for a while. Purity.
Baseball's boring, Dave. It's okay.
Baseball is boring, and the MLB as a whole understands that, hey, guess what? Having pitchers bat is boring because, like Jake said, it's a guaranteed out. It's a boring thing. 1 out of 100 times, yes, they'll hit a home run. They'll be great. We'll get to all celebrate. It's special. But it's not often enough to actually impact the game and make it interesting.
Then when he strikes out 2 of the time, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Or should they work on their batting to where they should be at least competent at the plate?
They're pitchers.
They're pitchers. Should hitters become pitchers too?
Again, I'm not going to stand on that box and say, like, oh, well, it's easy to hit because I can't hit a fucking baseball from a 90-mile-an-hour pitcher. But, like...
I made contact once in the batting cage with one of those bad boys.
But I mean, like...
That hurts.
Yeah, it does. But we're not baseball players, Dave.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts, Jake? Because you are the baseball guy here. I don't need to hear. I hear enough of Dave bash on the MLB. I don't need to hear more of it today.
Listen, I hope that we get baseball and with no prolonged suspensions during the season. So I hope they suspend it until May. Everybody gets a vaccine. We have a happy dandy season, and I hope the Yankees fucking re-sign DJ LeMahieu and they get some pitching and we win a World Series. Let's go.
So. Wait, the GOAT's a free agent right now?
He is a free agent right now.
Why haven't they? Because like you said, they lost money, so they don't want to.
Oh, the Yankees are crying poor. You know, I think George Steinbrenner is rolling over in his fucking grave right now.
I would love if he'd be able to come over the Cubs, but I don't even think we have the money to sign him with everybody we've got with contracts. Maybe giving up Schwarber helped us, but who knows? But that's where you guys come in. Let us know what you think down below about anything we talked about today. Discord, join the Discord. Great community. Link down below. !Discord into Twitch chat. Patreon.com/MVP vids. If you want to support us, link down below. !Patreon into Twitch chat. Twitch, we're live every Monday through Friday. Twitch.tv/MVP vids. We're also on YouTube at MVP Sports. And also, thank you to Jake for coming on the show today. Jake, I hope you had fun.
I did. Thanks for having me on.
That's going to do it for us. Another great MVP Sports Live. Thank you guys for doing what you do. And as always, have a good day, everybody.